I'm Sarah, a tutor at Accountancy Learning, and in this video I'll take you through the Business Awareness AAT Sample Paper 1 Task 7. So Task 7 is all about risk and big data. So let's have a look at the first question. Identify one appropriate strategy to deal with each of the following risks. So our first risk then is the risk to a chemical manufacturer of their employees suffering an injury due to handling hazardous materials, an essential part of their job. So for this one, we would be looking to reduce this risk. Because this is an essential part of their job, we would need to make sure that we proactively take steps to reduce the risk. And that could be by providing safety equipment and clothing. We can't avoid it because it is essential. We can't accept it because we can't just accept that they will get injured. And there is no transfer of risk in this scenario. The second one, the remote risk to a retailer that their high value inventory may be destroyed by fire. So for this one, we can't avoid it because there is a small risk that there may be a fire and therefore high value inventory would be destroyed. There is an element of being able to reduce to making sure that we have our health and safety elements sorted and everything is reviewed. However, this isn't what we would do. We can't just accept it and go, okay, well, never mind, our high value inventory may be destroyed if we have a fire. So we're going to transfer this risk because if it materialised, the business would be able to claim back on insurance. So therefore, we are managing this risk by transferring it over to the insurance company. Next, we need to identify which one of the following factors would normally be classed as a strategic risk. So this is all about business strategy. So what is a strategic risk? So one of the business's suppliers imposing stricter credit terms. This wouldn't be a strategic risk, it's just one supplier, and so it wouldn't have a big impact on the business's strategy. A permanent worldwide shortage of a raw material that the business uses. So if there's going to be a permanent shortage, then this means it's going to have a long-lasting effect on the business, which will ultimately affect its strategy. Because if you can't get the number of raw materials that you need to be making your products, then that is going to affect your strategy. So that's going to be our answer to this question. But just looking at the last two, the business's third largest customer transferring his purchases to a competitor. So this obviously wouldn't be very good, but it doesn't mean to say it's going to affect the business strategy because they can change the way they deal with their customers. They may be able to change how they are providing services to customers. So the third largest customer transferring its purchases to a competitor is not likely to be a strategic risk to the business. And then an error in the valuation of inventory. So that is not going to be a strategic risk, that's just an error in financial statements. So it's not going to affect the overall strategy of the business. Moving on, we're then given some information about a large supermarket chain, and we're told that it has different store types. It has supermarkets, convenience stores, and collection stores. So we've got three different types of store. The large store sells food and household items situated in smaller towns and cities. Convenience stores are local stores selling a smaller range of food items, and a very limited range of household goods, and collection stores that are only offering collection for an online order using a customer account. So ZEDSA encourages its supermarkets and convenience stores to register for a ZEDSA loyalty card. When they provide details of this card or present it at the till with their shopping, customers can earn points which can then be exchanged for discount vouchers. So our first question then is to identify which one of the following is a benefit for ZEDSA of having the loyalty card scheme. So out of all of these, the 4 that we've got are enabling the collection of shopping habit data by ZEDSA, provides ZEDSA with a range of secondary data, simplifies ZEDSA's till and operating systems, and reduces ZEDSA's reliance on IT systems. So the bottom 2 are more about operating systems and IT systems, which having the loyalty card isn't going to affect. So we know it can't be the bottom 2. Then we've got provides ZEDSA with a range of secondary data. So the data that it's collecting isn't going to be secondary data, it is coming directly from the customers that are using the card. So therefore, it's going to enable the collection of shopping habit data by ZEDSA. The next part of the task then, identify the big data characteristic that underlies the challenge or benefit for ZEDSA described in each statement below. So looking at the first one then, ZEDSA collects data from all 3 different store types and requires all customers to use their loyalty cards and or customer accounts. This is in addition to data collected from their website and till systems. So we've got data being collected from 3 different store types, from their website and the till system. So there's lots of different ones there. So we're going to have a variety of data. The second one, there are thousands of customers visiting the stores on a daily basis. This means ZEDSA is collecting, processing and analysing data every minute of every day. So we've got thousands of customers and then we're analysing data every minute of every day. So that tells us something about the speed of the data processing. So that is our velocity. ZEDSA requires a comprehensive processing system to collect, analyse and store all the data. So we need a comprehensive processing system to collect, analyse and store. So we're talking about a lot of data here. So we're talking about volume. How are we going to collect the volume of data? How are we going to analyse it? How are we going to store it? Because there's a lot of volume. And then lastly, the loyalty card data collection is deemed to be accurate as it is decided by and controlled by ZEDSA in the systems they use. So it's about the veracity of the data. Next, data collected via the loyalty cards is analysed and information is provided to assist each store with making decisions. Information is gathered about the products that are most commonly purchased together and the week of each month when purchases are at their highest. So each store then gets the data to assist with making decisions, and we're told the most commonly purchased and the week of each month when purchases are at their highest. So then we're asked to complete the following statement. This information will assist in making decisions about where to place the products in the store. So it is an example of, and we need to select from a strategic, a managerial or an operational decision. So this is going to be about how the store actually operates in the most efficient manner, making sure that the products are in the store in the right place to maximise sales. So the most commonly purchased together can all be together to make sure that people are picking up those products. So this is ultimately going to be an operational decision. It's how does the store operate? Got identify whether the following statement about the quality of the information is true or false. The information derived from the loyalty card scheme is good quality because it is available in real time. So this will be true. So because it's collected and it's available in real time, that means it is of a high quality. So it hasn't degraded over time, it isn't out of date, it is in real time. So therefore it is good quality. Then the final part of this task then. ZSA's finance function interacts with other business functions, for example, the human resources function and the operations function. Then we're asked to identify which two pieces of information ZSA's finance function would directly receive from the human resources function and not from the operations function. So we've got new employee start date, overtime hours worked this week, hourly and overtime rate, and travel expenses due for reimbursement. So HR is only going to provide the factual information relating to that employee, so relating to their contract, their salary agreements, etc. The operations function will have information on what the employee did. During their work hours. So looking at it then, so the new employee start date, that is going to be a HR piece of information. It's a factual piece of information about an employee of when they started. So that's going to be one of our two pieces of information. Overtime hours worked this week. Well, that's not going to be known by HR. Only the operations function will know that because they know what the employee has done. Hourly and overtime rate. So this is what are they paid per hour and what are they paid if they do overtime. So this is factual information. So it is coming from the HR department. That's our two, so we've answered the question, but the travel expenses due for reimbursement, again, that would come from the operations function because they would perhaps approve the expenses, they would know where the employee's been, so that would have to come directly from operations and it wouldn't come directly from human resources. And that completes task 7.